Namaste, my friend, and welcome to Namaste Today in the Zodiac Weather. My name is Christopher Witecki. I am the sensei to Sirius Joy, here to stand in my heart and walk in the light. Such a pleasure to light walk with you. Today I'm lovecasting live in 5 dimensions in the beautiful galactic galaxy on Tuesday, January 27th, 2015. And I've taken us here to the deep reaches of outer space because I do believe today each individual will go very deep in their inner space, thanks to Step 7 ruling the day. Step 7 is the 7th state of awareness. In the 7th state of awareness, we connect to the other side. It is the Stargate connection. So we use one consciousness to connect. That's it. And it's also known as Pisces, and it's also known as Neptune, and it's also known as our subconscious. Really, a lot of what we consider our subconscious, I believe, is the 7th state of awareness. When we meditate, or meditate as we like to say, I think we are connecting to the 7th state. So we open our portal on this day, the sun's shining through it, and by opening up this portal, we can sense, that's the primary way it comes across in humans, I sense this, or I sense that. And because we're touring the Aquarius vibration, what we're sensing now is the big picture. The big picture of us in the universe and where we feel we belong. And this may be the first time we're getting this sense this year or ever at all. But this sense does kind of put us into a new frame of how we feel and sense ourselves in the universe. And I think we are now starting to climb the staircase of light towards the age of Aquarius. And I think that in each Aquarius vibration, I myself as a light walker and the ones I walk among and study with also see this ride is becoming more vibrant. I'm noticing consciousness truly more vibrant and more expansion, than I remember as a child. And I have a damn good memory. So I see us all really expanding if we haven't noticed. And it looks like the ceiling is just about ready to be lifted off the top. We'll talk about that in the cosmic clock as far as just having it pulled off. But today will be a strange and cloudy day, I think, for many. I think it's interesting that the eastern seaboard has been snowed in. And of course, Mercury is retrograde, which means we are thinking back to things. Indeed, we are connecting today to our Creator. But before we get hyper spiritual on me in that sort of way, let's first tame our brain with the phrase of the day. I am mindful today of the whispers I hear beneath my thoughts, and so it is. I am mindful today of the whispers I hear beneath my thoughts. So you want to get deep? We're going to get deep. If you slow down, it's been my experience as a human being that you will actually feel an energetic beat before the thought. You will feel a beat before the thought. And in a conversation or a really good fight with someone, you know darn well you're not coming up with everything you're saying. You are like basically feeling certain beats and you're going for those beats, right? Like you can feel something just before the thought. It is the thought before the thought. And if there was ever to be an original sin, it lives in the thought before the thought. That is the original sin of something that sins. Therefore, whatever is beneath our thought really is the guiding light of all of our thoughts. And today, we are mindful of those whispers I hear beneath my thoughts. So try to put the mind on listening to the little murmurs of energy beneath the thoughts and let your thoughts just kind of ride by. It won't be difficult. The vibrations of the earth are very intoxicating. We're in heavy Neptune mode, and you'll see. So I am mindful of the whispers I hear beneath my thoughts, and so it is. I thought so. The serious step of the day is Step 7, and we're in the clouds with Aquarius. So our ruling state of awareness is the 7th state I sense. Let's see how that plays out with colors and chakras. For starters, we are all violet now, my friend. First of all, the Aquarius vibration is a whole month of exploring Aquarius, which is basically the front of our 7th chakra. I believe this is how it works. I mean, I don't know it all. I'm still meditating it out, but It is connected more in the front, and visionary is what I know, and the crown, which is Pisces, is above it. So we today are ruled by step 7, which is Pisces. So the crown and the vision are both open in the highest form. So we are really vibrating high today. Therefore, you want to ground today. Bring a little breath work through your root chakra. Definitely eat your granola, get on the treadmill, and connect to your body. You want to integrate that higher information into the lower body. Technically, that's what light walking is, in my opinion. Bringing the light down and making it so on Earth, right? So yellow is an important chakra because our emotions, you'll see, are a big part of us connecting to the 7th state. So thoughts and feelings blaze through here. We want our thoughts and feelings always to get along with each other. You two kids have to get along. So some breath work there, and releasing thoughts that disturb us and releasing feelings that disturb us, so that neither are disturbing us. And then, of course, right now we're working on our crown, so making sure that's nice and white up there, and it's a clean place for us to live. So energetically just bringing white light in and clearing our crown. Sometimes what weighs on the crown? Karma weighs on the crown, past life weighs on the crown, dream life weighs on the crown. These type of energies weigh on the crown, and you can clean your crown with some white light. So let's take a look at the cosmic clock now in the Mercury retrograde. Here's our clock. And we're at step 7, Aquarius, 8 days into the Aquarius cycle. And in step 7, the sun is connecting to Neptune energy and our other 7th state, as we said. Mercury retrograde today is chugging along, and you can see the sun and Mercury are heading for one another. Once they do connect, they will have a step of clarity. They're 6 steps away from each other. I find within a particular few steps away, there is a clarity, an aha moment, and one of the many epiphanies of a Mercury retrograde. Today might be some sort of an epiphany, or looking at what you thought was an epiphany, and now you're like, maybe that wasn't an epiphany. And that is, of course, all in the Aquarius vibration. So we're doing a lot of hard looking and trying to scrub the spiritual plaque off of our I belong consciousness. And that's what Sun in Aquarius is where we feel like we belong. And that type of belonging is, do you feel like you belong in the winner's circle? Do you feel belong at the loser's table? All that belonging consciousness, which is tied to the heart, is upgrading. So we're letting go. So our mind today is letting go of something, somewhere, that it once thought it was so correct about. And just kind of keep that under your arm. And here's one more piece of the spiritual twister. The moon in Taurus, emotionally wanting to analyze the value of everything. That's what the moon in emotion is. So emotions want to feel valuable at this time. It wants to make stuff, including make drama, right, and make trouble out of nothing. That's where Tauruses can be a pain in the bull's ass, right? Because we can make anything, a quilt, internet show about astrology, But today, that creative energy is seeking an outlet, and its emotions are seeking an outlet, and they go together today. So watch how you respond to situations. Now, Venus has crossed the border into Pisces, out of Aquarius into Pisces, and today's step 0. So when Venus is at step 0, actually it is sometimes difficult to receive. Sometimes we have a hard time connecting to wherever we receive. That's sometimes like where, people get cut off from whoever is normally nurturing them, and that some degree forces people to look at and find new nurturing sources or new nurturing, self-nurturing tools. So you might find your stream of income shut off today. Remember, Mercury's retrograde too, so it might also be tied to the intellectual part. And I think all this is the universe seducing us into seeing that there are more compassionate, that's it with Pisces, more compassionate ways of doing what we are already doing. And if you can do it more compassionately, you can flow more gently inside of you and come more profoundly to your spiritual growth points. So with Venus moving into Pisces, we are really going to feel now the compassion. A lot of this compassion we are working on there with Chiron and Neptune. Mars has been trailblazing and laying down the red carpet for Venus. Of course, the sun is coming next month, right? And of course, Neptune, the ruling planet of the day, is here in this all party in Pisces. So Venus is preparing for what we're doing now with where we feel we belong. And for those, I think, who, no matter where we feel like we belong, we're heading for a party in Pisces, which means we're really going to be kind of scrubbed spiritually and allowed to kind of let go of some of our, let's say, sins, guilt, all that sort of thing, as soon as the sun moves into Pisces. But now it's really about us deciding kind of where we truly belong. Do we belong in purgatory? Do we belong this way? And that's the decision right now before we leap here in Pisces. So today with Venus moving there, you can all kind of feel a lot of this energy pulling towards the Pisces energy. And Pisces, step 7, which is today's ruler, is really about our self-compassion, how it is that we can lay down our head and hear another, our ability for compassion. Now, Saturn adds fire to the game because it moved to step 3 in Sagittarius and over the weekend. And step 3 is Sagittarius' natural born step. So what tends to happen is whenever we hit the natural born step of the ruler, I find things gallop. So we tend to gallop in that sign. So we're going to gallop now. We're going to go through a time warp. We're going to see things really move quickly in beliefs. And sometimes this is kind of leading up to a certain shock. And of course, step 4 is kind of the shock as far as I'm concerned. So this is the gallop and the race that leads to the shock of step 4. And that's where Saturn will stop and retrograde later. So Saturn will stick there. So we're starting to gallop forward along some sort of new belief. Now, in your personal life, this is starting to race forward along a new certain way of thinking or way of believing that just, again, cracked open since Christmas. This could be following literal leads in your life. This is also you playing it completely on faith and belief right now, step 3. And for many, this is people actually discovering for the first time, I believe this, or, I just don't believe that. So we're going to see some real fast racing of people's beliefs. So let's see how to add on to this attitude today in the Sensei Sunrise. Add on, I guess clear out is my word. Mercury retrograde. God bless it. Now, my brain really doesn't, and I don't want to, feed in and create more, but I really can not reach into my pocket for all the great gold coins and tricks in Mercury retrograde. It's just really is less. Just like, feels like less, or I just feel like mashed potato mouth sometimes. But it's forcing us here, it's forcing us to find new channels, and that's what today is, step 7. The Stargate is open. It's time to listen to our higher self and see, are we on the right path? Does it feel correct? So climbing the conscious ladder here, we're at step 7, which is I sense, and the moon is in Taurus. And the cool thing about the moon in Taurus is that our emotions today are very grounded kind of energetically by the earth. So that means that we can really listen. And that's what step 7 is really I listen. Sense is listening. And if people would have just told me meditation was listening, and I'd heard that before, but I didn't really realize it's like, no, the conscious where you go, like that room, that's step 7, I listen, and you learn where to point in the universe. So we are listening today, and that's why I said it's interesting with the weather and a lot of things in the nation, a lot of people being forced inside anyways. And the way I believe it is constructed here in the architecture of incarnation, if you want to get to a 7, what you basically have to do is unite I feel and I think. So your thoughts and your feelings have to be united. And in essence, that's your mind deciding to be mindful of your feelings. So to get into that state, you are mindful of your feelings, and that's the loop you stay in. By staying in that loop of, now I feel this, now I feel that. And that's all the mind's allowed to do is read the feelings. Now I feel this, now I feel that. And eventually, you open up to the sensory perception, and that's when the universe drops some sort of little symbols into that stream of now I feel this, now I feel that. And as the mind comes across something it can register, it will say it. Like, oh, that's a treasure chest, or whatever it is. So today is a very high vibration psychic day, an excellent day really to connect, an excellent day of Neptune rule. Now, Neptune actually has a lot of variations based on when you're born. Actually, every generation has like a different Neptune. So there are psychic generations. We have Pluto generations, which I think are an absolute generation where the line ends. But Neptune is the way certain groups of people psychically all share the same type of psychic connection. And here I've laid it out real simply. If you're Neptune and Libra generation, that means you access step 7 through step 6. So step 6 is the giving and receiving, and that's when you're psychic. The Neptune in Scorpio, they actually access it pretty literally at the drain, like right there at 0. So they've got their hands, I mean, as far as Neptune and Scorpio, they're either very psychic or not, and they totally can ignore it and know they're not because they can ignore it so well. So I see people in brilliant denial in Neptune Scorpio and brilliant psychics in Neptune Scorpio. Keep in mind, everyone on the planet is psychic. It's whether or not you've been trained to listen to it. Then Neptune in Sagittarius generation, which is mine. Whoops, wrong one, excuse me. This is a compelling generation because this generation has Saturn crossing their Neptune here sometime in the next 2.5 years, depending on where your chart is and where Neptune was at your birth. But there are many of us who in the 70s have Neptune in Sagittarius. Well, all of us in the 70s, frankly. So, and then Neptune in Capricorn is the Neptune you're seeing, of course, of a lot of the kids now that are out there. And anyone being born now has Neptune in Pisces, right? So these are the predominant generations making havoc on Earth and their psychic abilities right now. The Neptune in Sagittarius generation, I believe, is about to open up their psychic awareness. And this is the beginning of it with Saturn at step 3. Now we will begin to race in where we are going. And so the Neptune in Sagittarius generation means that Saturn is beginning to awaken their Neptunes, probably for the first time, because you have to be, I believe, an adult or older in order to be able to calm your life down to listen. You know what I mean? So it's a fascinating thing. So in today's 11:11, to help you in your psychic way, everyone in the Sirius Joy Personal Sensei will get a text message at 11:11, your local time, about where in your life you were most psychic. This is looking at your natal stats and other information in our artificial intuition to pull out where we believe that you will find your most psychic. The truth is our psychic awareness does come out in one part of our life on a regular basis, and that's sort of hardwired based on past life stuff. Then at 3:03, I'm going to actually point out which Neptune generation is yours and give you a couple of pieces of guidance on how that Neptune generation is maybe affecting your psychic awareness as of today. That's all, of course, coming up. And if you'd like to sign up for the Sirius Joy Personal Sensei service, I'll have details after this. We'll be taking new people and starting as early as next week. I'm super excited. It goes live February 1st. So let's take a quick break, my friend, and we'll talk about logging into the higher realms today and any advice and perhaps the question you might want to ask after this.
Hello, Soul Gardeners. I am Alexis Ann Moore, and I am pleased to announce that Soul Garden and the Superhero Children Project are now teaming up to bring you the Superhero Children program here online at soulmart.me. The Superhero Children program is a philosophy class for children that uses science and meditation to teach self-awareness, personal responsibility, and heart-centered decision-making to children in a way that's fun and easy to grasp. And it's offered here now at soulmart.me. So to find out more about getting your child involved in this program, visit soulmart.me or click on the Modern Mommies link on soulgarden.me. I look forward to teaching your kids. Until then, live, love, be.
And here we are in the soulmart.me trading post. A couple little items I want to point out that we now have for trade. For starters, the Sirius Joy Academy is a series of classes and different services. My next class is this Sunday, February 1st, Reading Relationship Charts. So if you'd like to step into how to read your relationship chart, that's you and someone else, come on soulmart.me for details. Also, we have our first online children's series, an interactive kind of Google Hangout for kids called Superhero Children's Training. This teaches basically self-awareness using physics, math, and spiritual philosophy. The inventor of it is Alexis Ann Moore, and you can find out more at soulmart.me. We're real proud of Alexis for bringing that. And the Sirius Joy Beta service is what I've been talking about here just before the break. You can get 2 months for just $39.95. It's a one-time fee. We'll not renew anything like that, but we need your information in by Saturday Saturday night to be able to start service on February 1st, Sunday. So this is going to be a fun ride, and it's just a beta, but you'll get a real idea of what we can do to kind of help you through the day. You get 5 to 7 text messages. It's all based on basically your spiritual fingerprint. Astrology, numerology, and sacred geometry, to me, creates more of a three-dimensional view of the person. We call that AIT, Artificial Intuition Technology. And at SiriusJoy.me, you can find more details. Now, if you'd like to have a reading with me and work one-on-one on webcam, you have until February 1st also for this sale. $99 for 90 minutes. That's getting 1 hour plus a 30-minute follow-up. And, you know, if you go online, if you're not a person that looks for readings, most people are like $2.99, $3.99 a minute. I'm like $1.01 a minute when you do the math of this. This is a phenomenal ability to step into your light with me. Now, if you want to just get your foot in, not step, well, how about a 15-minute step reading? And I can actually tell you your Neptune, which is your natural-born step, to log in yourself. Everyone's born with a natural-born Neptune step, and I started there when I started to log into myself. It's interesting how it works out. We'll talk about that another time. But let's do some guidance today with how to step into your awareness and look at today's gong. So I find that the biggest issue people have with psychic awareness is that they don't like what they see. A lot of times it's like you ask the universe, "Hey, universe, is this the one?" No. It's like, "Oh, well, maybe. Are you sure?" Like, it's got to be because, you know, and we start to argue with what we see or what we feel. Excuse me. So today is a day where my advice is don't argue, just observe. Everything that you see when you ask a question, you connect. Everything you see in your dreams, everything that you vision, don't argue with yourself at this stage. Just let it all kind of come out and put it on the shelf. I wouldn't tell anybody if it's some wild shift. I would keep that shift to yourself at the moment, because your job is to be the human crystal that lets these truths in. I think with Saturn at step 3, we're going to see some profound truths coming through. Your spiritual leaders, the people who are connected to the ceiling and listening all the time, are really going to start bringing down a new message any second now. And I'm sure it's going to blow us away a little bit. But you can also, in your own life, and that's what I'm encouraging you today, is to not argue and observe and ask the important questions in the areas where you're hurting. So it's like, man, you know, should I really move on with this person? And your heart will be the second voice to that. But don't argue, observe. It's like, oh, we got a vote to leave the person. All right, that was a vote. We'll see later if it's whatever. But today is a day where a lot of cosmic truths can open, more so than any before. And I think that we're past the Mayan shift, and we're at a point now where even those who meditate and log in every day are seeing higher and higher every day. I'm seeing the heavens opening more and more every day myself. And I think this is maybe part of the human condition that is indeed expanding. So let's just watch it. Get some popcorn, and I'll meet you on the other side. But before you do pop that popcorn, let's take a look at the moods of each of ya brothers and sisters today, and where Mr. Witecki, Sensei Witecki, believes that you should put your ear to. Be sure to listen to this part. Even though the whole cosmic clock is opening up, be sure to listen to this part. Scorpios, cloudy with a chance of moodiness today, but be sure to listen to what your feelings are telling you about anything under the sun. So listen to your feelings. Try to get out of the logic. Just listen to your feelings if you can. Step one's the Leos, cloudy and futuristic. So I think you're using the Neptune energy to be up and think about your parades and fanfare. But be sure to listen to, Your Majesty, how you talk to yourself. How are you treating the queen or king inside? Step 2, the Cancers, cloudy and public, but be sure to listen to what's not being said out there in public, Crab. What's not being said? That's something to dig into. Step 3, the Sagittarius is cloudy and sensitive today, especially in their bodies, I think. But be sure to listen to the thought behind the thought today. So yes, I think I was talking to you. Just saying. Step 4, the Aquarius is cloudy, nesting, and resting today. Probably feeling a bit fatigued. Good day to call in sick if you want. You got a hall pass from me, Aquarius. But be sure to listen to your heart, not just your ego. And I'm not saying that because you're an egomaniac. I'm saying that's because your birthday. So the universe is actually over-highlighting your ego right now. And so this is a time where you really got to ask your heart twice because the ego's a little extra strong. Step 5, the Geminis. Cloudy, feeling spiritual today. But be sure to listen to what you believe versus what you have proof about. So listen to what you actually believe versus what you have proof about. Step 6, the royal honors. Your honors. Cloudy and private, withdrawn, definitely. And here's the thing, I just gotta say, be sure to listen to your heart's secrets right now. And I mean your heart's secrets. You know, every Libra has secret wishes. Well, I think those wishes are the ones that are supposed to be listened to right now. You know what I'm talking about. Step 7, the Pisces. Cloudy and rather pensive today. But Pisces, be sure to listen to your highest voice right now. Right now. So whatever choices are on, take the most golden, most self-loving path. The one that's most loving for you. The most loving thing for you. Step 8, the Capricorns. Cloudy and sensitive. But be sure to listen to your instincts right now about the market. All right? So I think the market right now and people doing well will be determined on their instincts. But Neptune's there to help people along the way. Listen. Step 9, the Aries. Cloudy but busy nonetheless today. And listen, Aries, be sure to listen to your instincts about certain people right now. All right? You're trying to smell out the bad apples, or smell out the ones that really your heart and their hearts are not truly aligned. Step 10's the Tauruses. Cloudy but cool today, but be sure to listen to your gut before making career decisions. And here's the thing, Bull, I am a Taurus, so it's like we made the plans. It's 5 years in making. And you get to the last minute, and well, you better ask your gut, because if the universe says no, not right now, it's not time. That's where Tauruses have a hard time. Like what? And that's where I'm finding that we have to listen and be like, all right, we'll just put that on the shelf and market it into something else, right, Taurus? Virgos, step 11's cloudy and super passionate, I do believe today. But you want to definitely listen to your body and what it's telling you. And a lot of times a Virgo's body is telling them things that are beyond the normal things. So like their elbow hurts and it means Aunt Betty, that sort of thing. It's not just your health, but others. You're like the wishbone that picks up on it. So in the Lightwalker Parade today, we had Modern Mommies, which you might want to watch. We're talking about human rights and George Bush, and really just where are we going to take it in Saturn Sag as far as accountability. And in Astro 101, I'm talking about Earth and it being the ruler of Taurus. I throw that argument out. And if you're watching on YouTube, please be kind and do subscribe. We thank you ahead of time. And on Facebook, you can be our friend at soulgarden.me. And you can always join our email list where I'll send you a good morning namaste around 4 a.m. your time. And I will remind everyone that we will be live February 6th through the 8th in Los Angeles. We're looking to actually travel around. This will be our first part. But if you're in Southern California, come say hi. I'd love to meet and give you a hug. And it's at the LAX Hilton. You can also see them on the web. And we're finding out that it's going to be broadcast on the web. A lot of big speakers there, Marianne Williamson and many cool others. So if you want to watch and connect, you can remotely, it seems. So check out their website for more. Let's move on now to our rock and roll gospel. And since we're in Aquarius and we're in Step 7 Aquarius, I was swimming around in my mind like, what is as spacey as that? And I realized, Alan Parsons' project is as spacey as that. The Eye in the Sky. Listen to this song and you'll be pulled into your Step 7 guaranteed. That's because the creators of this album were Alan Parsons and Eric Wolfson. And I don't know if that's how you say it, Wolfson? Yeah, I would imagine that is. Before my time, but still made it into my consciousness. Now, Alan Parsons is a master Sagittarius, Step 28 Sagittarius. Eric has moved on. He's passed away in 2009, it looks like. But he was a Pisces, Step 27 Master Pisces. So two masters way up. I mean, Alan's sun literally conjuncts the galactic center. So this dude was born in the universe, Alan Parsons, born floating, born thinking about God and in the universe. So it's good stuff, man. And I grew up listening to this, and it was fun. It reminds me of childhood. But put this on and enjoy it. Remember, I love you. I'll see you in 24 hours. Live, love, be.
This is just so ironic.
So